Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Cobra DS Adapt Max, their maxed out version of the standard DS Adapt. I've done a full review of the DS Adapt, and if you want to have a look at that one, you can pop up there, click on that one if you wish, and you can't see that one, it's down on my channel listing. But this being the Max, it's the same technology, but maxed out. Every dimension on this golf club is bigger, the center of gravity is lower, so it will be interesting to see how well this one launches. Remember, this iron itself is designed for the slower swinger, the guy or girl who needs to get that golf ball launching. So we'll be testing it into a green as normal, but at the end we'll be testing this at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. Again, this is designed for people that swing at slightly slower speeds and need a little bit more help when it comes to getting the golf ball up in the air and a little bit more distance in that sense. So we'll test at those 3 different swing speeds, and we'll also do our forgiveness testing where we whack it all over the face and see how well it does when it comes to ball speed retention when you don't hit the middle. Top lines on this, we have a rather thick, chunky looking thing looking at you. This is for confidence inspiring looks, absolutely. Down on the sole, we have a rather large version of it. Definitely can see the offset already just from looking at the sole. Blade lengths are decent size. This is firmly in the game improvement sector, and of course, down by the golf ball, absolutely you can see there's some serious amounts of offset there, there's some serious amounts of top line there, there's some serious amounts of golf club down there. Guys, if you miss the golf ball with this thing, we need to have a chat about coaching rather than anything to do with equipment. I'm at a hole, we're about 180 yards away. I think it's about 6 yards or so downhill, so I've got to be careful to don't go out the back. The pin is right at the back as well. So absolutely, if you were playing this hole, you would not be going for the pin, but hey, this is YouTube, so why the heck not? Right, let's go give this one a hit, see how it feels. 29 degrees of loft. It is rather large down by the golf ball. Oh, what a good start. That's straight out the bottom of the golf club. What a thin, wowzers. Oh dear. Oh, am I gonna go down for the green? That's a good shot. You'll take that one all day long. Look at that strike, wowzers. Okay, club speed, 90 miles an hour, path slightly from the inside, and face was basically 0.4 close, that is it. Lie was good, strike was not. 4 mil toe, that was the good bit. The 10 mil low part, that wasn't the good bit. We are, look at that, push pull 0.0, side spin 0, offline effectively 0. As a good job considering it was a really bad strike. It done really well, it's stopping on a green. It's just doing really very, very good. Let's see if we can do a slightly better job. Although by the looks of it, it really doesn't matter. It was a little bit explosive, but then again, this is full of tech. That's a much better strike. It's a much better job of it, but we are going out the back. Oh, that's death, that is. There you go, that's YouTube. Club head speed, 89.1 miles an hour. We are path 1.6 from the inside, and face to path is 0.7 close. Baby little draw dynamics, really good strike. 2 mil toe, 0 mil high. So I can't complain at all on the strike. It's going 38.5 yards in the air, and of course, 49.4 degrees of center angle. So if I had hit the green properly rather than pitching on the back edge, it absolutely would have stopped. Feeling wise, it was a good strike. It was 2 mil toe, 0 mil high. Good strike. It's explosive. We'll call it explosive. It's a rather large audible noise when you hit it. Do I like it? Personally, no. But it is confidence inspiring. You definitely know when you've hit one because I wouldn't say it's ringing in the ears, but it is loud. It is a proper whack. Right, let's see if we can get this one stopping a little bit better. Take some distance off if possible. So I'm just trying to hit it a fraction higher. Hopefully it will stop on the, oh, this is still at the back edge. You're going to struggle to get up and down from there. So club head speed, 90.6 miles an hour, path slightly from the inside still, face is basically 0. Strike is really good as well, 1 mil toe, 0 mil high, the best one yet. Wowzers, 45. 45 yards in the air. And 52 degrees of center angle. Yep, that's up there. That's now, I tried to hit it a little bit higher, trying to get it stopping on the green a bit, but wow. Okay, it's 29 degrees, so it's not the weakest lofted thing in the world, but wow, does this thing have some punch. This thing is like, if you are a golfer that's not this type of golf club, however, you want a iron at the top end of your bag that gives you some launch, etc. Yeah, wowzers. So this could be it for a golfer that struggles with speed, struggles with peak heights and struggles like that. Absolutely, you could have this throughout the entire set. Also, it can be for golfers that want an iron at the top end of their irons, which launches a bit more, gets the golf ball going up there, 45 of them. Wow, that's so high. That's really, wow. Okay, another one. It is loud. It is loud. Definitely you can hear it. It's interesting how different golf clubs feel. Like that is off the bottom, and that will probably be out to the right very fractionally. Face was open. Try to take a bit of distance off. I did, but leaked out to the right. Clubhead speed 91 miles an hour, path is 0, but there's the face, 2.1 open. I tried to take a little bit of distance off by a fade and just left my face a fraction too far open, but 2 mil toe, 7 mil low, so it is on the bottom of the golf club, and when you hit on the bottom of the golf club, you do, generally speaking, you'll compromise launch, 22.3 degrees of it, and it's going 42 yards in the air and 52 degrees ascent angle. This thing does not struggle with getting airborne. It is crazy, much like this hole. There is some death around this green. This is daft. I don't know even why I've chose this green to do this, but it is YouTube, so why the heck not? I'm really interested to see hitting this at 3 different swing speeds, especially the 70 mile an hour one. And of course, when it comes to doing all of the forgiveness testing, get the heat map going to see how well this works off center hits. But I'm more interested in seeing how well this works when we're talking about the advanced data. How good is this golf club, loft for loft adjusted, at launching the golf ball relative to that of the standard DS Adapt. Right, last one. Let's see if I can keep it on the green. Oh, that's still not going to be enough. That's going to be over the green still. Stop. Oh. Oh. This green is ridiculous. Clubhead speed, 89.8 miles an hour, club path 1.3 from the inside face is basically 0. Slightly toey on that one, 9 mil toe, 2 mil high. Not bad really, but slightly toey. It's going 40 yards in the air still. And 50 degrees ascent angle, so it nearly stopped, but it's just carrying too far. I can't get the pin any further back, and I can't get that ball, the tee, any further back either. Let's go give this a whack all over the face. Let's go see how forgiving it is when you don't quite hit the middle, because again, this is the max. We'll also test it at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour, especially the 70 miles an hour is going to be the interesting one. Again, this is going to be designed for the slightly slower swinging golfer. So let's go give this a whack all over the face. Let's go see how good this Cobra DS Adapt Max iron really is. To the interesting part where we see how the DS Adapt Max gets on. 3 different swing speeds, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, the interesting one. I've also captured the heat maps do for the forgiveness side of things, how much ball speed is retained when you don't hit the middle. And then also I've done some comparing between the DS Adapt and the Max to see which one works best, and especially for the slower swing speed. On the screen you can see we've got the ball data on top and the club head data underneath. We'll do the club head data in a second, but we've got the red, which is 70 miles an hour, we've got the yellow, which is 80 miles an hour, and the blue, which is 90 miles an hour. We'll do the red first, the 70 miles an hour, and carry of 137 yards, which is a rather good number for a 70 mile an hour swing. We're going peak height of 24 yards in the air and descent angle at 42 degrees. That is a really very good number. Generally speaking, for a 70 mile an hour swing with 7 irons, especially crank loft ones, etc., it is really difficult to get a 7 iron going into a green at 70 miles an hour with some form of stopping power. We need at least 40 degrees for that golf ball to stop on the green. Okay, if you're playing very soft conditions, possibly a 38, 37 degree may well stop. What I mean by stop is hit the green and stop before it rolls out the back. But at 42 degrees, that is a really very impressive number. Remember, this is the Max. It's designed to launch and it's designed to get the golf ball going and then stopping the other end. If you go to the yellow, the 80 miles an hour swing, we've got a carrying of 160 yards, 32 yards in the air for peak height and descent angle at 47 degrees. This golf club really likes getting the golf ball in the air, and 47 degrees at the 80 mile an hour swing speed is mighty impressive, and 160 yards is not short either. And if you go the full on 90 miles an hour the blue. We've got a carry distance of 178 yards, which I think you'd agree is absolutely fine. Peak height of 41 and descent angle at 51 degrees. If we go by the club head data, you can see we've got 70.4, 80.4 and 90.2. So there's the three different swing speeds, and between them is 0.2 of a mile an hour difference between the 10 mile an hour. Efficiency is a measure of bang for your buck. How much club head speed do you have and how much ball speed do you get from that club head speed? 1.38, 1.38, 1.37. Attack angles within 0.7 of a degree, club paths within 0.9 of a degree or so. Face to path, again, that's fairly important, 0.3 of a degree difference. That is it. And of course, the all-important loft for apples testing, 27.7, 27.4 and 27.6. So within the three different swing speeds, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, there's only 0.3 of a degree of loft difference between all of them. And of course, you've got my strike on there for you to see if you wish. If you are someone who prefers the graphical representation rather than streams of tabular data, here is the ball and club compare screen. You can pause the video if you wish and learn from that, as the fact that that is just a graphical representation of exactly what we've just been speaking about. So to the all-important forgiveness side, where we hit it all over the face, find out what kind of heat map we get when you don't hit the middle, see how much ball speed we lose, and see how forgiving this DS Adapt Max is on the screen. If I can fit it all on there, we'll have the heat map grid. We'll look at that one first, we'll go to the overlay after that. But on the heat map grid, you can see there, you've got the numbers from the top there, 22 to minus 22, 22 on the left-hand side, which is basically face on, we're looking at the golf club. So 22 on the left-hand side is the toe, and minus 22 on the right-hand side is the heel. You've got high and you've got low on there as well. You've got that blue line between 5 and 6 millimeters, and that's basically a turf interaction line. Saying this, if you hit a golf ball higher than 5 or 6 millimeters on the face, you are absolutely going to be interacting with the ground first, and you're going to be having a heck of a lot of ball speed being taken away because your club head speed is being taken away because of the ground interaction. Thin to win is always the win, and you can see the size of that green blob. That green blob is fairly decent, and it is larger than that on the DS Adapt. We'll come to that one in a little bit, but this Max, with everything is maxed out, does an incredibly good job of keeping ball speed up across the face. And of course, ball speed in a flat-faced iron correlates to distance. And if you can keep ball speed up, regardless of where you hit it on the face, you are going to hit that number much more often. It is extremely impressive, this DS Adapt Max. On the overlay, you can see on the bottom left-hand side, you've got that strip on the right-hand side, which is a big red strip, very, very near the hosel. That is around about 21, 22 millimeters away from the geometric middle of the scoring lines. And even though you can see on the grid, you're going to be losing 3 or 4% from that point, there is a point at 21, 22 millimeters. If you hit it there, you are going to be interacting with the hosel, which means the ball is going to be starting to move off in a certain direction where you don't want it to, so you haven't got to really worry about how forgiving a golf club is from massively heel when it's going to go off at a 10-degree angle to the right. So please don't hit it off the heel if you can. Low and toe is always the best miss. So all this information you are seeing now, from the heat maps all the way to what is coming up next, is available on my website, www.askgolfnut.com, where the website members can have access to all different types of tier data should they wish. And we're going to be looking at the radar data now. This is on the silver tier, and this basically is a really good graphical representation, a visual representation of how good one golf club is, reference to the other 60 or so that we have currently on the database to date. And so this is what the radar chart looks like. So you add in the AGN average, and that is basically just what the radar chart looks like when you have all of the golf clubs in the database, all 60 plus at the moment, and what the averages of all of them are when we talk about toe forgiveness, heel forgiveness, low forgiveness, forgiveness overall, blah, blah, blah. So if we then add in the DS Adapt Max, and instantly you can see the red is on most of them much, much better than the blue. So on average, it is much more forgiving out of the toe, it is more forgiving off the heel, it is more forgiving off the low. Its overall forgiveness is really very, very good. When we talk about forgiveness, is retention of ball speed when you don't hit the middle. It's got a fairly quick face as well, so again we've got decent distance potential on that. The face spin rate is the only one that it's not, shall we say, above average. It is slightly fractionally below average, but the reason why that is its launch factor. Going back to what we were seeing on camera, and no different going back to what we were seeing at the slow swing speed, being so functional at a slower swing speed, the launch factor on this golf club, the center of gravity on this is so low that it really does a brilliant job of getting that golf ball launching. That is why it's so good for a slow swing speed golfer. If you then add in the DS Adapt to the Max, so get rid of the average and basically compare the DS Adapt to the Max, if you were deciding which one you wanted to go into, you can physically see the differences between these. You can see how close they are from a point of view of design, because they are very, very close in exactly how they look on the radar chart. It's just the Max is maxed out. So all those extra dimensions, all that extreme technology that you're going to get in the Max because of the bigger body, you can see it does make a bit of a difference when it comes to its overall forgiveness from its toe, heel, low, its overall. Face speed, exactly the same. There's no difference between these two irons. They have got exactly the same technology when it comes to the face, but you can see the launch factor on the Max is slightly better because of the fact you've got that center of gravity lower, because it is a bigger golf club. So to finish, we have a fun little tool which is on the gold tier, the self-fit tool. This enables the website members to basically compare flights for their own swing dynamics, their swing speed, their angle of attack and their shaft lean for every one of the 60 or so irons that we currently have on the database. And again, I've got to the image on the screen. You can see I've blurred quite a bit of the information for obvious reasons. It's blurred, and we only be looking at these ones. But from you can see we've got the Cobra DS Adapt Max in yellow and we've got the Cobra DS Adapt in blue. And I have selected the 7-iron, but have a look at the clubhead speed. I've dialed the clubhead speed right down now to 67.9 miles an hour, just a random number, and attack angle at -1 and a shaft lean of -1. And again, you can put your own numbers on this to see how all of these irons will potentially work for you. Remember, these are projected flights on the basis of having a very good face to path, very good strike and stuff like that. The whole idea, you swing differently. You might have a slight draw, you might have a slight fade, and that will be your swing. So you might see that you might go slightly longer than this or go slightly shorter than this. But what this tool does very, very well, it's still able to compare the difference between the two irons. So again, it might be slightly shorter or longer, but the difference between the two will be the same. And you can see I've dialed it right down to under 70 miles an hour and 67.9. You can see just the 7-irons. Let's just do the 7-irons on the DS Adapt. 7-iron goes in at 128 yards, which is 3 yards longer than the DS Adapt Max, but it's going in at 38.3 degrees. That is not going to stop. It won't stop. Well, if you had a really soft green, that would stop, but generally speaking, no. You're going to be hitting the green, that's going to be running out the back. If you go to the 7-iron of the DS Adapt Max, you go 125 yards, which is only 3 yards shorter, but it's going a little bit higher in the air, and more importantly, it's stopping at 41.3. That will have a chance of stopping. And for instance, if you wanted to go to a DS Adapt iron, to match the same descent angle that the DS Adapt Max can do at a 7-iron, you have to go down to the 8-iron. Well, now you're only going a carry distance of 115 yards for the 41.3 degrees descent angle. That's 10 yards short of the DS Adapt Max. So it's really very, very important, especially as you start taking some speed away, making sure you get the right irons to suit your speed and to suit your own delivery. That's why at the top there, you can change your clubhead speed, you can change your attack angle and change your shaft lean to suit your swing parameters. So to conclude for the DS Adapt Max, let's go by looks and feel first. Looks, it's rather large. People, it's going to be a bit polarizing. Some people like big chunky irons, some people don't like big chunky irons, and this is a big chunky iron. You cannot get around though the reason why it's big and chunky, because it does certain things exceptionally well. It is rather loud, it is rather bold, it is like a rocket, it's like a gun going off, it is loud. Have I said loud? It is quite loud. And so some people care about feel, some people don't. If you don't care about feel, ignore every single thing I'm saying about looks and feel, because they're subjective. Performance, it works, and it works exceptionally well. This golf club is one of the best golf clubs I've seen for getting the golf ball launching. And for the slow swing speed golfer, it is incredibly good. It is one of the very best that I've ever tested for the slow swing speed golfer. And of course, yeah, if you dial the swing speed up a little bit, you can see by the shots into the simulator, they don't half go up in the air. That is going to give you some serious stopping power. And forgiveness, it's doing a remarkably good job. It is a very forgiving face. It doesn't really drop off that much from some weird and wonderful parts of the face. It is very good low, it's very good toe, very good heel, and you can see the differences between that and the DS Adapt normal one. The benefits of going Max. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, hit that like button, thumbs up, go on, you do like, so do I. Down there also is a subscribe button. It's free and it is best one of the lot because it is great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. Next, that one is a bell icon, that's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.